Turning now to the Indian Ocean, where vote counting has begun in the Maldives. Residents of the tiny Indian Ocean archipelago cast their ballots this Sunday in parliamentary elections, a vote that's being closely monitored by Asian giants India and China. Well, France 24's international affairs editor Leela Jacinto is here to tell us why. Leela, the Maldives are known for their wonderful beaches, but it is a very tiny island nation. Why are we watching these elections?
Good question. And the word tiny, as you say, is often associated with Maldives, frequently as a counterpoint to its disproportionate importance geostrategically. And really, Alison, you really just have to look at a map to understand the importance of this country. So Maldives is in the Indian Ocean. It's situated between Asia, the Horn of Africa, and the Middle East. And it's in pretty empty waters that stretch all the way down to Antarctica, which is why there is a U.S. base in British-controlled island of Diego Garcia, just further south. Now, Maldives has traditionally been very close to India. It is part of a South Asian grouping with India. There are very close historic and cultural ties. India has helped this country in times of natural disasters and political turmoil. This was going on until China started to increase its influence in the Western Indian Ocean, of course. And this influence was through Chinese investments and huge infrastructure projects. A big symbol of this is the Maldives-China Friendship Bridge, which links the capital Malé to the international airport. And then we also have the President Mohamed Muizzu. Now, he ran last year for the presidential elections on a platform of India out, calling for a small contingent of Indian troops to be kicked out of the country. He won the election last year. But everybody understood that basically Maldives has no choice but to balance its two giant Asian players, India and China. And everybody expected that once he was elected, the rhetoric would tone down because India also has big investment projects. But then what happened was that there was a giant social media spat that, just unleashed this tsunami of diplomatic problems. And it's really a sort of a test case of, how geopolitics and diplomacy can go awry in this age of, divisive politics, great game powers, and social media.
And what was that social media scrap? Tell us about it.
Okay, well, this scrap involves Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Israel, 3 deputies, 3 ministers from Maldives, and a whole troll of armies of trolls on either side. So it began very innocently when Prime Minister Narendra Modi went to the Indian island of Lakshadweep, which is just north of the Maldives, and he tweeted pictures of his vacation, about this wonderful place called the Lakshadweep. In Maldives, this was seen as India opening that island up to tourism, which is a very, very important source of revenue for Maldives. Now, 3 ministers just tweeted, messages saying that, Narendra Modi looks like a clown. He's a supporter of Israel. This happened exactly, at the start of this year while the Israel-Gaza war was going on. Trolls from Maldives took it up. What they did not calculate was that the tsunami of trolls from India, and this just erupted, Bollywood stars, celebrities, tourism, Indian tourism dropped. The president tried to control the situation. The 3 ministers were kicked out of their jobs. But this is a very high stakes game, and what's important are the elections that happened today. This is very important for the future of how Maldives goes.
And tell us about those elections, Leela. What exactly is at stake here?
Okay, so Maldives has a system pretty much like the U.S. They have presidential elections and parliamentary elections. And today there are parliamentary elections. We have a brief graphic just to show you, the situation of Maldives. So the election today is for the parliament. It's called the Majlis. It's for 93 seats in parliament. The current parliament is dominated by a pro-India party. So basically the parliament has been balancing out the pro-China tilt. built of the president. What's at stake now is who's going to control the parliament, because for the longest time, the president has not managed to implement his policies. They've been blocking some of his appointments. And so the critical thing that India and China and a lot of other players are watching in this strategic part of the world is who's going to control the Majlis or the parliament, because that could set the stage for what happens in the next 5 years.
All right. Well, now we know what we're looking out for, Leela. Are we going to get a full China lineup across the board, or is it going to continue to balance out with India in the parliament and China in the presidency? Thank you so much for that. That was Leela Jacinto from our International Affairs Desk.